My husband and I are raising 3 kids. My husband was married before me and he has a son, Cole, 16-year-old from his first marriage. Cole's mum died 11 years ago, and my husband and I met 9 years ago and married 7 years ago. Together, my husband and I have a daughter, Freya, 6, and Theo, 5. Cole has never really accepted me as family or the kids. He's not unkind, but disinterested in us, but especially the kids. It's not that he doesn't like kids. He's great with other kids. Cole was in therapy after his mum died, and we did family therapy together before my husband and I married. He never spoke against the marriage or us having kids. But he's not very warm toward us either. It really shows with the kids more because they really want to be closer to him. They want him to take the same interest in them as he does in other kids. They have seen him with his friends' much younger siblings and with young cousins and with kids in the neighbourhood. My husband and I don't push too hard. I will take Cole to pick up a video game every few weeks because he loves gaming, and I ask him questions about the games he enjoys as a way of trying to bond. We also go to arcades, the pool, and we go for walks all together. Yesterday I was taking the kids to a Halloween party, and Freya asked me why Cole doesn't like them, and I asked what she meant. She said she asked why he likes other kids more than them, and he told her they don't have the same mum. Theo didn't really understand most of it, but Freya understood enough to be upset. She was crying, and Theo was confused more than anything. This all came up because Freya wanted to show off her costume to Cole, but he wasn't interested. Yet he does show interest in other kids' costumes. I told them sometimes when a kid ends up with their parents no longer together and they fight a lot, or when a kid loses their mummy or daddy young like Cole lost his mummy, it means they find it hard to let some people into their heart. That Cole lost his mummy and it made it harder for him to feel about us the way we feel about him. Freya said her best friend has a sister who has a different dad, but she loves her. I told her it doesn't happen all of the time, and sometimes it gets better. But that how Cole feels does happen at times, and all we can do is try to accept it and respect the way he feels. I also told them it was not their fault at all. My husband wasn't home at the time, but when he did, I told him what happened. His parents were also home because they wanted to see the kids all dressed up. They heard what I told my husband, and they told me I should never have said that to the kids because I should know Cole isn't being fully honest when he says things about not loving them, and I will make the kids think it's true when they're so little and too young to really understand the complexities. And I made it so black and white for them. My husband told his parents they needed to leave, but they called me a bad mum before they left. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Thank you for trying to explain complex family dynamics to your kids in a way that respects the feelings of all involved, puts no blame on anyone, and enables your blended family to live together as best they can. Also, refreshing to read a Reddit story where the stepmom is not stomping boundaries and forcibly claiming the title of mum. I'm pretty sure Cole appreciates that in a way he cannot really express yet. In-laws need to stay in their lane. Good on your husband for backing you up. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You did a great job explaining things to your kids and your in-laws are dead wrong. Kids that age need more black and white than shades of grey, and that's what you gave them. Have you considered therapy again? You mentioned that Cole had it before and that you had family therapy at one point, but that was before you married 7 years ago. 16 is a tough age for anyone, and it seems like Cole is feeling alienated from the rest of you. Might be worth giving it another go. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You tried your best to explain the situation to a child, and you did it without being negative about the one who's being so negative. Is he still in therapy? If not, I suggest restarting because he needs to learn a bit of humility where his siblings are concerned. I'm not saying he needs to love them, but he certainly needs to stop giving off hate vibes because they're not to blame for his loss. Now, for the update. Well, buckle up because the past 2 weeks have been an absolute roller coaster. After the blowout with my in-laws, my husband and I had a series of intense conversations. We decided it was high time for family therapy, acknowledging that this tension couldn't go on. The therapist was a godsend, navigating the stormy waters with the skill of a seasoned captain. One of the most poignant sessions actually revolved around an art project. We were each asked to paint our feelings about the family dynamic. Cole, to everyone's surprise, painted a tree with roots intertwining. His explanation: we were all connected even if we didn't always feel like it. But here's where it gets straight up soap opera dramatic. My husband, inspired by the therapy, took it upon himself to arrange a family dinner with his parents to clear the air. Midway through what I thought was a productive conversation, my father-in-law suddenly clutched his chest and collapsed. A heart attack. right there at our dinner table. The ambulance arrived quickly, and we spent a night full of worry in the hospital waiting room. Miraculously, he pulled through, and in some twist of fate or change of heart, he apologized to me. He told me that staring death in the face made him realize how petty our argument had been, and that he was thankful that I cared for Cole as my own. But wait, it doesn't end there. Cole, who had been quiet throughout this ordeal, opened up to me for the first time while we were alone in the hospital cafeteria. He admitted he'd been unfair to me and his half-siblings. It turns out he'd been secretly attending support groups for kids with lost parents and had begun to process his grief. And then, as if to prove his point, he took initiative to organise a surprise family outing for us all. It was a simple day at the park with a picnic, but it meant the world. And to top off this 2-week saga, just yesterday, Freya, with all the innocence and wisdom of a child, presented Cole with a handmade bracelet, a token of sisterhood, she called it. Cole wore it without hesitation, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house. In summary, it's been an absolute whirlwind of emotions: heartache, fear, reconciliation, and moments of pure joy. 2 weeks ago, I questioned if I'd ever break through to Cole or repair the fracture in our family. Now I'm cautiously optimistic that we're on a path to healing together. Real life is wilder than fiction, isn't it? Now for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. It's clear from your story that you've been through an emotional rollercoaster with your family. The fact that you engaged in family therapy and participated in an art project to better communicate your feelings shows a strong commitment to resolving conflicts and improving your family dynamics. It's commendable that despite the blowout with your in-laws, you have remained open to dialogue and even attended a dinner intended to clear the air. Your father-in-law's heart attack was an unfortunate and unforeseen event, but his subsequent apology suggests that it served as a wake-up call to the pettiness of the past argument. It's a sign of maturity and self-awareness when people can recognize their own faults, and your father-in-law's apology should be seen as a positive step towards healing. Moreover, Cole's revelation about his own struggles and his decision to seek support groups indicates that he is taking responsibility for his actions and is actively working towards betterment. This is an important aspect of personal growth, and it's encouraging that he is making an effort to mend his relationship with you and his half-siblings. Freya's gesture of presenting Cole with a bracelet symbolizing sisterhood is a beautiful representation of forgiveness and the potential for a fresh start in your family relationships. Lastly, your cautious optimism is a healthy outlook, acknowledging that while progress has been made, healing is a process that requires time and patience. Your story is a testament to the complexities of family life and the ongoing effort required to maintain harmony and understanding among its members. Comment 2, not the idiot. Your story is a testament to the fact that you're seeking to foster a positive environment for everyone in the family to grow and heal. You've been proactive in addressing the issues head-on by seeking therapy, which often requires a great deal of vulnerability and openness to change. It's important to recognize the effort you're putting in to understand and respect each family member's emotions through therapeutic exercises like the art project. Additionally, it's worth acknowledging that your husband played a crucial role in trying to mend fences with the dinner. Although it did not go as planned due to the emergency, his intentions were in the right place, and it's important to have a partner who is willing to take such steps. The fact that Cole has been attending support groups is another positive aspect of this story. It highlights his individual commitment to addressing his issues, which is essential for personal growth and improving relationships within the family. Lastly, the youngest sibling's actions, giving Cole the bracelet, show a level of maturity and forgiveness that can be rare in such situations. It's important to encourage and recognize these small acts of kindness and reconciliation within the family, as they are the building blocks of a stronger, more resilient family unit. Your acknowledgement of the complicated emotions involved and your willingness to remain hopeful for the future is a healthy approach that will contribute to the ongoing healing process. Comment 3, not the idiot. In your narrative, it is clear that communication and healing are at the forefront of your intentions. It's significant to note that you didn't let the initial confrontation with your in-laws deter you from seeking a resolution. Instead, you took the constructive path of therapy, which demonstrates a high level of emotional intelligence and dedication to your family's well-being. The fact that your family was able to use art as a means to express complex emotions shows a creative approach to dealing with interpersonal issues, which can often lead to deeper understanding and empathy among all parties involved. The incident at the family dinner, while traumatic, seems to have been a catalyst for reflection and change, particularly for your father-in-law. His apology after such a life-threatening event is profound and speaks to the possibility of personal transformation at any stage of life. It's also encouraging to hear that your stepson Cole has been proactive in dealing with his grief and seeking support beyond the family. This not only benefits his personal development, but also has the potential to improve his relationships with his family members, including you. Finally, it's touching to see the gesture of unity from Freya, the youngest sibling, as she reaches out to Cole with a handmade bracelet. This act represents the innocence and potential for unconditional love that often comes more easily to children. Your cautious optimism is a healthy stance, as it allows for hope while recognizing that the path to healing is often non-linear and filled with complexities. It's clear that you are playing a pivotal role in navigating your family through these challenges with grace and perseverance. Now, for the next story. So my daughter Sophia is 16 years old and she goes to a private school that a lot of the wealthier families send their kids to. My wife works there, so we get a huge discount on the price. I would prefer to send the kids to public school, but our school district is really bad, so private school it is. I truly don't like how the kids act at that school. They're very snobby. My breaking point for this was when my son sent me a video of my daughter being extremely rude to a fast food worker. My wife and I discussed it, and we agreed that she needed to get a job so she could understand that those people deserve respect and how awful it feels for a customer to be a jerk. So she has been working at Target and dealing with all the customers. She hates it, and it got out in school that she has a job. This resulted in people not inviting her out like they used to, since they think she is lame for having a job. My wife wants to let her quit her job, and we got into an argument about it. I think it's better that she learns that they were never her friends in the first place, and she should keep her job. My wife thinks I am being unfair and a jerk, and Sophia hates me at the moment. Am I the idiot for this? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. It's best she learn now that those kids aren't her friends. They'll ditch her whenever she has to live a real life. It's either now, college when she either has a job or needs a scholarship, after college when she can't afford A-list grad school, or adult life when she has to work instead of being a trophy wife. There is literally no scenario where spoiled little shits will be able to have a friendship with someone from a normal family. Their parents send them to that school to, intentionally, make them as snobby and awful as they are to reinforce the classism that put them there. Not the idiot. Make her work. Comment 2. Not the idiot. While it sucks that your daughter isn't going to as many parties, I think you are correct in that they were never her friends if they think it's lame for a 16-year-old to get a job. Stick to your guns. Your daughter needs to learn that while working isn't always fun, it is important. Unlike her so-called friends, she doesn't have rich parents to bankroll her life. Earning and saving now will teach very important lessons that go beyond showing empathy to working people. Comment 3. You're not the idiot for making her get a job and treat people respectfully. Why possibly TA for making her go to school with rich, snobby kids and then getting mad at her for acting snobby. Being the poor kid in a rich town sucks. If it was your only option, then it is what it is. But you should be kind and thoughtful about the way you handle it, since you're the reason she goes to school there. Now for the next story. My wife regularly uses Reddit and recommended that I post on here because our family is split on who is in the wrong. I, 56-year-old male, have 4 children together with my wife, 54-year-old female. We have 3 daughters, Chloe, 32 years old, Wendela, 30 years old, and Emily, 24 years old. We also have 1 son named Lucas, 26 years old. Since the birth of each one of our children, my wife and I have been making monthly payments into a college fund for them. The amount in the funds was enough to cover the college education of all 4 kids. Our kids have all chosen different paths in life, whether it be their choice of degree, place of education, or type of school. When our oldest, Chloe, graduated high school, she talked to us about how she was unsure about what she wanted to do with her life and had been considering taking a gap year. We talked with her and told her it was her choice. If that's what she wanted, she should do it and not rush into education. She ended up taking 2 years off, during which she worked and paid us $250 in rent each month as part of an agreement. She still ate our food and we provided for her other necessities. The $250 was put into a savings account that we gave her access to when she and her now husband began discussing buying a house. Although the situation was not the same with each child, they were all aware of this and the plan for how the money would be used. Wendela lived with us for 3 years after college, and Emily lived with us during college. They both took part in this arrangement. The issue arose with my son. Like his oldest sister, he wanted to take a gap year. We encouraged him to do so, but when he asked if he could stay with us, we told him about the rent situation. He was not happy about this and argued that he was our son, and we should want him to live with us for however long he needed to. We explained what the money would be used for, but he did not care. He was very angry with us for a long time and ended up staying with a friend of his. All of this occurred around 8 years ago. We now have a good relationship with both him and his wife, who are expecting our first grandchild. Recently, he brought up how all his sisters received money to buy a house and showed me pictures of a house that he and his wife had been looking at. I said it looked nice, and he responded by asking when I could give him the money. I told him that he made a choice when he was 18 and that he would not receive any money. He claimed it was unfair and that he was young and dumb and should not be punished for it. I told him that I do not have that kind of money to just give him. He left the house after arguing with me a bit more. My wife and his sisters are all on my side, while his wife and my mum believe that I am in the wrong. They think I should want my grandchild to have a place to live and not punish him for mistakes he made as a young boy. Am I the idiot for not giving him the money? Note, Am I the Idiot stands for Am I the Jerk now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You had the same deals available for all your kids. I think it's a genius move. You taught them the value of education, the importance of paying their own way in life, and were able to help them more than most parents can. Your son was ungrateful. He had the right to choose his path and made his decision. You didn't punish him then, and you're not punishing him now. He could have done the same deal as his sisters. How does he not understand that all you did was collect rent money from his siblings and then gave them that money back at a later date? It didn't come out of your pocket. He expects you to cough up your own money for him when he gave you no money, so none was saved for his future. Comment 2. Not the idiot. He was legally an adult when he made his choices at 18. He was mad at paying rent to you, knowing full well that the rent money would be put aside for him to use later. He split. His actions have consequences, and instead of being mad at you, he should be mad at himself. No one gave me the money to buy my own house. I did it by working hard, getting my credit scores up and saving money. Apparently he doesn't think he should have to work for it. He thinks everything should be handed to him on a silver platter. He has some growing up to do. Hopefully his grandma, your mum, won't hand him money for a house. Comment 3. Not the idiot. He doesn't get to benefit from a program he didn't put into. His siblings participated in the program, which makes me assume he truly understood how it worked and was just a young adult who was more interested in instant gratification than saving. With respect to his mother-in-law, she's welcome to give them a gift for the purchase of a house. He's a married grown man who presumably planned to have a child. He can figure out a living situation for themselves. Now for the update. It's been an emotionally grueling month since the fallout over the college funds and the decision not to give Lucas the money his sisters received. The tension has only escalated. We tried to reach out to Lucas, to explain, to bridge the growing gap, but it's like he's built a wall around himself that we just can't seem to break through. The worst part came 2 weeks ago. We received a call that Lucas's friend, with whom he was staying, had suddenly passed away from an undiagnosed heart condition. It was a shock to everyone. Lucas was devastated, not only by the loss of a close friend, but also because he was now without a place to stay. He's couch surfing with acquaintances, and the instability is taking a toll on him, especially with a baby on the way. When we heard about his situation, we immediately offered our home, but Lucas refused. He said it felt like charity now, and he could not accept it. My wife and I are heartbroken. We feel like we're losing our son, and the stress is causing strain in our marriage. We lie awake at night wondering if we should just give him the money. But fear it sets a precedent that the decisions we make as parents can be overturned by our children's displeasure. Our daughters have been supporting us, but also gently pushing us to reconsider. They've been trying to talk to Lucas too, but he's shutting everyone out. We're all walking on eggshells, trying to figure out the right thing to do for our family's future. The baby's due date is fast approaching, and the thought of not being there, of not having reconciled before our grandchild comes into the world, is unbearable. Yet, it feels like every attempt we make only drives Lucas further away. In our community, people have started to notice the rift. We've become the subject of whispers and pitying looks at the grocery store and church. It's isolating, and it's humiliating, and it's just hard. We're trying to put on brave faces for the sake of our daughters and our friends, but inside our family feels like it's crumbling. I just wish I could turn back the clock, do something differently, find the words that would fix all this. But right now it feels like we're stuck in a tragic impasse, and I'm not sure where we go from here. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear from your story that you have tried to reach out to Lucas and mend the rift that has grown between you. Your offer of a home after his friend's passing was a gesture of love and support, not charity, and it's unfortunate that Lucas sees it differently. It's important to remember that as a family, you can only do so much to help someone who is not willing to accept it. It's also understandable that this situation is causing strain in your marriage, because these types of family issues can be incredibly stressful and challenging to navigate. It is not your fault that Lucas has chosen to isolate himself and push your attempts at reconciliation away. However, it might be beneficial to consider seeking professional help, both for yourselves to cope with this situation and potentially for Lucas if he eventually becomes open to it. You are dealing with a very complex family dynamic that may need more than just time and patience to resolve. Comment 2. No idiots here. It's a difficult situation when a family member distances themselves after a conflict, and it's natural for you to feel hurt and confused by Lucas's actions. However, it's important to consider that Lucas might be dealing with his own internal struggles that may be influencing his behavior. It could be pride, a sense of failure, or deep-seated issues stemming from the disagreement over college funds that have yet to be fully addressed. While your intentions are good and you're trying to do what you believe is best for your family, sometimes what we perceive as help can be interpreted differently by others. The whispers and pity from the community add an extra layer of pressure and embarrassment, but it's crucial to focus on your family's well-being rather than outside opinions. It might be worth exploring different ways of communication, perhaps writing a heartfelt letter to Lucas expressing your feelings without the expectation of an immediate response, giving him the space to process it on his own terms. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. The situation with Lucas is indeed a tragic one, and while your intentions to reconcile are noble, there may have been missteps along the way that have contributed to the current impasse. It's clear that Lucas is experiencing a great deal of pain and perhaps even shame given his reaction to your offer of help. It's possible that both parties have made mistakes in how they've handled communication and expectations. For Lucas, cutting off his family, particularly when they're reaching out in concern, is not a constructive way to deal with conflict. For you, it may be necessary to reflect on whether the approach to offering help was done in a way that respected his autonomy and dignity, or if it inadvertently came across as patronizing or conditional. Additionally, it's critical to maintain open lines of communication with your daughters and ensure that the focus on resolving issues with Lucas doesn't neglect their emotional needs or create an environment of tension and favoritism. It might be time to consider a family therapy session that can provide a safe space for everyone to express their feelings and work towards understanding each other's perspectives. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.